Imagine being 10 years old, taking baths on camera with your brother, who turns out is actually your mom's boyfriend and is 20 years old. And then by age 17, you're filming with adult content creators while your mom sells your photos online for $100 to middle-aged men. A child influencer whose exploitation has been hidden in plain sight until recently. From stage romances and inappropriate photo shoots to a $22 million SA lawsuit against her mother, today we're exposing the dark truth behind one of YouTube's biggest child stars and the adults who continue to profit off of her innocence. Piper is a 17-year-old content creator with a massive following. Just 2 months ago, when I did a lot of this research and took this screenshot of her TikTok, she had over 14 million followers. Now she's just over 16 million followers. So she's gaining a lot of followers fast on TikTok. Over on Instagram, she sits around 6 million followers. And it's absolutely disturbing some of the content their family is posting on her account of her in revealing clothing that no minor should be seen in on Instagram in a public setting. And on YouTube, she has 12 million subscribers. And one of her first videos on YouTube was posted 8 years ago. This would have made her around 9 years old when she started doing YouTube, as well as Musical.ly. She also competed in beauty pageants at a young age and appeared in a Lifetime show called Dance Twins. Now, an 8 or 9-year-old getting spray tans, fake eyelashes, and dressed up often in an over-sexualized way isn't normal. But some people argue it's confidence building and just for fun. But let's be real, it's usually not even the kids that want to do this. It's the mom, and then the mom makes it all about her by living through the kids. And this can be problematic in many ways, but one way is that it teaches a child that their value comes from how they look, affecting self-worth and body image. At that age, a kid just needs the freedom to be themselves, not to perform an adult version of what society considers to be pretty. Then you have the creeps who specifically target these type of environments, watching, following, and collecting like footage of this stuff. There's been documentaries and cases that have been shown that prove this, and yeah, it's disturbing, but it's true. And that's all I need to know to never put my child in that position. And then there's the classic argument that you're only making it weird because that's how you see it. If a kid walked into a school wearing bikini and heels, you would lose your mind, and people would be calling the parents, calling CPS, people would be asking where are the parents. But somehow when it's on a stage in front of a bunch of strangers, it becomes empowering and for fun. No, they're the same age, same outfit, it's just a different setting. It doesn't make it less inappropriate. So if your whole argument is you're only making it weird because that's how you see it, I don't think that's an argument, that's denial. But I digress, let's move forward. By age 11, Piper was getting millions of views and making a lot of money. But it wasn't really Piper getting this money, was it? It was her mom. Piper's mom's name is Tiffany Smith, and there's not much about her on the internet because she mainly works behind the scenes. And she does have an Instagram, but she doesn't post anything. Allegedly, managing Piper's entire life for money is her biggest achievement. She allegedly exploits her daughter by putting her in revealing clothing for profit, selling her photos online, which we're going to get into more detail a little later in the video. Apparently, the father has never been in the picture, but that hasn't stopped Tiffany from using him as clickbait for YouTube videos, where one video is titled "Meeting My Dad for the First Time in 13 Years, Emotional Heartbreak." In this video, they act like they're knocking on her dad's door, but he doesn't come to the door, and so she gets upset. This is the thumbnail.
Just knock again. Okay.
Let's just go.
Already?
I knocked 2 times.
In another video named "Finally Meeting My Dad for the First Time in 14 Years, Emotional Heartbreak." In this video, she does meet somebody and it doesn't show their face. This is the thumbnail.
Have you heard any of my songs? Like, have you ever checked up on me to see if, like, what I'm doing lately?
To be honest, no. No, I haven't.
And of course, all of their videos have the comments turned off. I wonder why that is. By the way, if you're into commentary like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, as I cover stuff like this all the time. Hunter Hill, the boyfriend of Piper's mom, Tiffany Smith, and I think they're dating now, I'm not entirely sure on that, is currently 27 and films and edits all of their videos. When Piper was 10 and Hunter was 20, they filmed themselves in the bathtub together for a YouTube video, filling it up with shaving cream or noodles. And one of the thumbnails for this looked like this, but the other one is slightly suggestive, and I'm not going to show it here for obvious reasons, but Piper's shirt is pulled down a little bit here at her shoulder, exposing her chest a little bit. It looks very intentional, like they're trying to attract a certain audience with that thumbnail, and it's weird. And it gets even more disturbing when you read one of the old descriptions that used to be the description for the YouTube video. They've changed it since. This description reads, watch Piper and her older brother fill their bathtub to the top with 22 cans of shaving cream that were bought by a total stranger. So they let some weirdo, some creep, some stranger buy 22 cans of shaving cream and had them get into a bathtub together and fill it up. Like, what grown adult would be like, hey, I'm gonna buy you 22 cans of shaving cream and I want your 10-year-old daughter and her brother to get into the bathtub together and fill it up. That'd be real nice to watch. I can only think of one kind of grown adult that would do that, and it's not a good one. And if there even really was a stranger that bought this, they probably suggested shaving cream because it was the closest thing that resembled whipped cream, which is used a lot for a lot of inappropriate things. They want to be creepy and suggestive towards the right audience that's going to make them money, but they don't want to be too obvious about it. They got to be subtle. And then you have this description under the ramen noodle bath where it says, watch Piper and big brother take a bath in ramen noodles. Is it ramen or ramen? Ramen? I just say both. I say ramen and then ramen sometimes. But she capitalized the letter on big, emphasizing big brother. I wonder why she did that. And I mean, just combine that with the suggestive thumbnail that she posted, and it's so obvious at what she's trying to do and what audience she's trying to attract with this. On September 16th, 2022, Hunter uploads a video titled, I lied to you, I'm sorry. And this is the thumbnail for that video, and if you notice, there's photos on the right which he blurred, and then I blurred the photo on the left because I didn't feel comfortable showing this on my channel, considering she is a minor as well. And essentially this video explains that they're not brother and sister and that they've just been lying to their audience this whole time. That's 5 years, by the way. They lied to their audience and then just casually came out with a video, seemingly not making it a big deal at all. And the way they argued that this was okay was that it was just a trend then to just call people brothers and sisters. And of course, the comments are turned off on this channel. But before the comments were disabled, Piper left a comment underneath that video saying, we are just a bunch of liars, with 2K people agreeing. And then soon after that, I guess they wanted to do a little bit more clickbaity stuff, so they decided to release a video like this.
All right, Tiffany.
What?
You see what this is?
Adoption?
Yes. I want to adopt your child. Can I please be the father of Piper Rockelle for 24 hours? This will give me custody. It's a legal contract.
You'll take care of her all day?
Well, I mean, that's...
Like I'm off the hook?
Like 24 hours, I'm her dad.
Where do I sign?
With the title of this one being, I am Piper's real dad. Now let's talk about some of the age-inappropriate content that has been produced here by her mom and edited by Hunter Hill, the brother. In Piper's description on her YouTube, it clearly states that her content is for boys and girls of all ages, even adults. So in case you were like, well, I don't think they're really making this for adults, I mean, it's right there in the description. It's also for adults. With that in mind, let's take a look at some of these suggestive titles and thumbnails that they use to promote to these people of all ages. Here you have a thumbnail of a 12-year-old looking pregnant, with the title being 24 hours being pregnant challenge in public with twins. Then you have, I became a mom for the day. And then you have this very suggestive thumbnail of her twerking. And I think it's crazy that I'm sitting here blurring this thumbnail for multiple reasons, but this thumbnail is still allowed on YouTube. And I guarantee you, if I didn't blur a lot of this stuff that wasn't blurred, that was allowed on YouTube, and I put it in my video, it would definitely get demonetized. And then you get into the weird realm of age regression where they have titles like, I became a baby for the day. Kids turn into adults and adults turn into kids. And then this thumbnail where they literally had to blur pictures of her in suggestive clothing. But not really, because I had to go back and blur it because you could still see it. It looks blurred, but it's not really blurred. So they're really hitting all angles here. And while her account was labeled account managed by family, this was the nature of some of the content being posted. And because of what she's about to reveal in this video, I'm not going to show the whole thing. But basically, she's wearing this onesie lingerie piece. With some of the comments being, this is weird, 12K likes. Another person says, bro, you're a kid. And then you have this video that says, bad bees are the only thing I like. With her wearing some revealing clothing and dancing with her butt in the camera camera. Just some really unnecessary angles and revealing clothing. Some people commented and say Piper is not the problem, it's her mother. That angle was unnecessary, but okay. This is very concerning. I'm starting to get disgusted and concerned. What happened to her? This makes me so uncomfortable. That's so inappropriate. I bet a mill she gonna be on OF at 18. You guys all need to report that to IG for inappropriate exploitation of minors. Every single one of the videos. This was a little weird, not gonna lie. And then you have this video where the kid is saying F her, and then Piper saying yeah, F her, and then doing a humping motion. And the kid again says no, F her, and then Piper says whatever, I'm a still F. And you can't even ask yourself here, where's the parents? Because, well, the parents are the ones that are managing this. Piper would leave a comment saying I can't help myself. Comments below this would say you're 17, please stop this. Account managed by family, shaking my head. This makes me so uncomfortable knowing she's still a literal child. WTF is wrong with her mother. This isn't okay. This is so sad. I remember when she was doing fun pranks and now this. Now we're going to take a look at some of the disturbing comments that have been left on her Instagram. And when I mean disturbing, it's literally disturbing. It's disgusting, and prepare yourself for what I'm about to show you. Now keep in mind the mom approved these posts and kept posting it with these type of comments, hence why she probably disabled the comments on the YouTube channel. And Hunter kept editing and keeps editing these videos even with these type of comments on there. Some of these comments include, how about turning around and showing me just how you can be? Yes, I'm softcore child. Unbelievable. That's the one comment that is in reality among these comments. That comment there actually points out what is going on here. And just take the time to pause right here and read these comments. I don't want to read them. And then here you have a picture of her in a bikini with people saying things like DM to talk about this little thing. Damn, it's disgusting that I see grown men commenting on a child's post. And then below that, oh baby. Another one where this man says, you have a very, very beautiful body. With someone agreeing, saying yes. And then the commentator below that said, girl, WTF are you doing? That's an old man. And then there's a Reddit post made about her under hot YouTubers. And to be clear, there's multiple posts of her on this Reddit where it's pictures of her basically posing in very suggestive and erotic ways for, I guess, a Brand Army account, which we're going to get into, but these pictures are disturbing. And again, I don't want to read all these, but just take a look at what some of these disgusting people are saying about her in the comments. It's just, I can't believe people are like this, and there's so many of them. This person says, I feel so bad for this girl, and then the OP said, why? She likes this. I'm not even joking. She used to sell her underwear. There's no way that they could ignore these type of comments and know what's happening online. They actively and consciously went through with these actions to make this type of content, knowing who their audience is. It's disturbing that something like this exists, and there's probably a lot more out there that exists just like this that we're just unaware of. But I want to move on from this and talk about the squad controversy, and that's the Piper squad controversy. Piper would have a group of children working with her, making these videos, and she cultivated this name for them called the Piper squad. Well, she did, or the mom did, probably both. I don't know, probably the mom. Anyways, initially it was Piper's cousin and then other children, and then they recruited people through casting calls in LA, and it was often kids that already had a social media following, and a lot of the activities that they did for videos were pranks, sketches, and manufactured relationship drama. For example, she would have been 13 in these videos with titles like, I called my boyfriend on a date with another girl, flinching every time my boyfriend tries to touch me to see how he reacts, crying in the shower fully clothed, prank on my boyfriend, and many, many more. So despite her age, her mom forced her to stage these romantic scenarios for a bunch of strangers on the internet. And these staged relationships got so bad to where one of the members felt pressured into getting into these relationships, and the mom saw it as weird and pulled her out. And that person was Clementine.
All of this is because of a toxic work environment. From afar, joining the squad looked like so much fun. I won't go into too much detail because I do respect that Piper's mom has a business she's running, but my mom and I felt pressured and uncomfortable by Piper's team to do some of the things. For example, they tried to put me in a love triangle with a boy I didn't know, and I was going to be that girl that has to fight over a boy with another girl, and it was just going to be a competition to be with a boy, and it was just like really dumb. And I'm only 13. I don't think I should fake a relationship this early. Like, who wants to go through that at such a young age? And also, Piper's mom kept shoving confidentiality agreements in our faces, pressuring us to sign them so she could try to silence us, like everybody in the squad, so she could try to control the public story of every single squad member. And if they felt we didn't listen, they would punish us by not promoting us to show their power. And after recently chatting with some previous squad members like Gavin and Corinne, we noticed a pattern of behavior that felt negative and unhealthy. And in the end, it became way too much to handle. And I want to be my most authentic self, so I felt like I was lying to myself and to you guys because I want to be an actress, so I'm going to focus on that.
And you might have seen the documentary that's been made about Piper, the one that's on Netflix. Well, 1 month ago, below this video, Clementine has actually made a response about that documentary, saying, "The Netflix documentary is deeply inaccurate and misleading. Critical facts were omitted, and most of the mothers portrayed as victims are actually perpetrators who exploited their children for clout, fame, and money. Unlike them, my mom was the first to remove me from that environment to protect me and never went back, while others continue to profit from greed to this day. This was never about protecting kids. If they truly wanted justice, they wouldn't have settled. When I left, I was blocked, sabotaged, and cyber-bullied by the very people who claim to care. They called my mom crazy, and most still do, while pretending to be heroes. The truth is, they are hypocrites, and this documentary only proves it." And allegedly, the working conditions were so bad that children were actually punished if they didn't comply. Allegedly, Tiffany never obtained proper permits for working with minors, and some of these children were working up to 12 hours a day with no scheduled breaks, meals, or proper education. A Times investigation found that Smith, 41, operated a multi-dollar company that did not pay the children who filmed popular videos with her daughter, and that the children worked long hours without scheduled breaks for rest or meals and were not provided with regular on-set education, according to a review of dozens of court filings, emails, casting calls, talent releases, and filming schedules, as well as interviews with the plaintiffs and their parents. Many of the parents have accused Smith of violating labor laws and said she should have obtained permits and credentials that the state requires to work with minors. Another former member of the Piper squad was Gavin, and he was presented as Piper's boyfriend at the age of 12. He would release a video with allegations claiming that his relationship with Piper's mom was abusive and toxic.
Over time, our relationship began to be more of a abusive and obsessive relationship than more of just a, it was more of a business controlling relationship than a friendship, I never got to hang out with any of my other friends that I do hang out with today. I couldn't hang out with literally anyone but those two people that they wanted me to keep in that circle. I could not hang out with anyone unless they approved, and it was honestly just a really toxic environment, and it was not fun at all. Over time, I would notice these weird things, how she would have anxiety attacks. Her mom would have these things called anxiety attacks, or that's what she called them. She would, jump out of cars, threaten to leave, threaten to run away, all this stuff that would scare us. She would always yell at the kids. The supposedly editor would always yell at the kids and everything. It was just, like I said, it was abusive and toxic and it was very unhealthy. And also there were texts and DMs of her saying really inappropriate things, almost things that an ex-girlfriend would say to you. She would yell at me over text and call me names that shouldn't be, that 12-year-olds shouldn't be called by a 30-year-old woman. She would call me I'm not even gonna say them because they're obviously swear words, but she would call me names. She would say that she would stop working with me if I hung out with this person, or I went to a certain event, or I did this or that, or hung out with this person or that person. It wasn't fun. It really wasn't. And she offered me a vape, and then my parents found out that she offered me a vape, and then it was starting to go downhill from there.
And Gavin's mom would also go live on Instagram talking about the situation as well.
I saw signs of crazy on the other side. Not talking about kids, talking about parents. I have witnessed Piper's mom jumping out of cars, calling me, telling me to come get my effing kid, and they're all hiding in closets. She was highly controlling, hundreds of texts to my son, him begging Tiffany, can I please work with you? Begging her, I am so sorry, I'll never go to another event. I won't talk to Coco. I won't talk. I'll block Corinne. It was so uncomfortable, guys, and disturbing. His dad got involved very, very recently, probably like 2-3 weeks ago. And then Gavin got a little bit, started to come out with things that we didn't know. I cannot tell you those things that we do not know. They are not lies. They are all over his text messages. He is dealing with severe stress and anxiety because every single week she would call him and not Piper, her mom, and say, we're not working with you anymore. We don't like you anymore. We just hate you for some reason because she's, I don't know, not a very nice person, in my opinion. Gavin was so disturbed, guys. And if you all are going to spread hate instead of positivity, I really don't know what to even say. He is a 12-year-old kid that went through a lot over there in that family. And I pulled him away like your parents would do.
There would also be another former squad member that just recently came out and talked about Tiffany's controlling behavior.
You're going to tell us a secret from the squad that has never been talked about on the internet.
Yeah, this is kind of a secret. I was like not allowed to like engage with like anyone they didn't like. I liked one of Coco's posts. I was called up and told to unlike the post right away.
It's a like on Instagram.
And then, wait, there was another one I just thought of. That's like one, so like we weren't allowed to engage at all. Oh, I will say one thing.
Yeah.
The mom of the group made me, back in like late 2021, fire my manager.
Why? Didn't like him? Her?
And she made threats that if we didn't, to my mom, that she would do stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say what, but she was making threats if I didn't fire my manager.
Now let's talk about some of the legal issues that went on in 2017 that involved Tiffany, age 36, seen kissing a 17-year-old on live stream. Now, I'm not going to show that video here because of YouTube community guidelines, but she kisses this 17-year-old and then has somebody pull her away from kissing them. And that same 17-year-old will go on to file a police report that said this. On 6/3/2017, after attending the Rock Your Hair, Rock Your Summer party and concert party, together we went to Tiffany Rockelle Smith's apartment in Hollywood to collaborate and create content for social media. I was only 17 at the time. 6 people were present: Piper, Christian, Tiffany, Hunter, Nathan, and me. Tiffany was 36 years old at the time. At the time, both Christian, Piper, and I shared the same talent manager, Matt Dugan, who was at the event but did not come to Tiffany's apartment. Tiffany provided alcohol to everyone, including her 9-year-old daughter, Piper. She drank a lot herself and was extremely drunk, as shown on the video. She gave me alcohol and I was a bit tipsy myself. Both Hunter and Nathan left the apartment to go someplace. We started streaming live on social media using the app YouNow from my personal account. I was sitting on the couch between Christian and Tiffany. Piper was standing behind her mom. During the live, Tiffany grabbed my face and started to French kiss me. Piper grabbed her by the head and pulled her back to remove her. She proceeded to kiss me again. I turned off the live stream at that point. I was in shock and wasn't sure how to react. I had not kissed a lot of girls before. Tiffany didn't stop coming on to me. She grabbed me by the waist and tried to pull my underwear. She dragged me into her bedroom. I called Christian for help at that point. I was scared Tiffany was going to R me. Christian helped push Tiffany away, and together we put Tiffany to bed, where she quickly passed out. We put Piper to sleep on the couch and left the apartment together. People who screen recorded the live footage of the kiss started to post it everywhere on YouTube. After leaving her apartment, we called Matt to tell her about the incident, as we didn't know what to do and wanted his guidance. He assured me that he was going to make sure Tiffany is stopped and punished. He promised me he would take care of it. Matt Dugan was my mentor at the time as I moved to LA on my own, so I trusted him fully to do the right thing. The next morning, all the reposts of the footage of the live had been removed from YouTube. Matt told me he took care of everything, to let it go, so I trusted him and didn't do anything else. I decided not to do a police report. I honestly felt ashamed and wasn't even sure what to do. To this day, I felt violated and humiliated. End of November 2017, I saw Tiffany again for my 18th birthday at a bowling alley with the same group of people, and she was holding me by the wrist and wouldn't let go for a while. I also want to add that Tiffany was repeatedly asking me questions about being transgender and asking about my private parts, transitioning to a boy, etc., which I always found inappropriate. Parted ways with Matt early 2018 and never saw Tiffany nor Hunter after that. In April 2020, I returned a call to the officer at Hollywood LAPD. I explained to him what happened in detail. He told me it wasn't a crime since there wasn't no actual sex. He didn't take my report but told me to file a report with my local police department for... And it doesn't end there, because there was also 11 members from the Piper squad that came forward in a lawsuit seeking $22 million in damages, where they alleged a financial, emotional, physical, and SA from Tiffany.
All of our innocence was just swiped from us.
And this lawsuit included a 147-page long complaint detailing numerous allegations. Some of these complaints included inappropriate touching of minors. Trigger warning, this next part is a difficult read. It's going to talk about Tiffany doing some disgusting stuff with minors, where it says Miss Smith also inappropriately touched plaintiff Claire E. on numerous occasions, as well by rubbing her exposed thighs and moving her hand toward her private parts, constantly spanking and or slapping her butt, sticking her finger / poking her butt over her clothing when she walked by Miss Smith, commenting on how big Claire's breasts looked, and then attempting to squeeze them. This is insane. And on one occasion, taking a wooden spoon and smacking it all over Claire's body. Miss Smith also tried to spit in Claire's mouth and on her face. One time when Miss Smith was on top of her after Claire woke up in the morning. This is disturbing. And she also referred to herself as the Madam of YouTube and a Pimp of YouTube, and that she makes kitty corn. This whole thing's disturbing. I can't believe what I'm reading, honestly. On another occasion, Offset Plankton Kareen accompanied Miss Smith to the local post office, where Miss Smith mailed out several of Piper's soiled training bras and to an unknown individual. Miss Smith remarked, saying, "Old men like to smell this stuff." On another occasion, Plankton Sophia witnessed Miss Smith grab Piper's face and make out with her in an attempt to teach her how to kiss. And it doesn't end there, because Tiffany was allegedly also a very vindictive and malevolent person as well, where Miss Smith and Mr. Hill conspired to sabotage plaintiffs' respective YouTube channels after plaintiffs leave the squad. On several occasions during and after their time in the squad, plaintiffs and or their guardians learned that defendants were capable of, and in fact had interfered with, plaintiffs and other YouTube channels by engaging in a variety of dirty tactics, such as using bots, paying to quickly add and then remove subscribers from a YouTube channel, which affects YouTube's algorithm for recommended content, falsely flagging content as inappropriate on YouTube, which leads to content being deemed restricted, thereby hurting viewership of the content, embedding plaintiffs' videos on corn sites, and working with an inside individual named Alex at YouTube to help restrict plaintiffs' videos. Well, if something happens to my channel, I think, well, you might know what happened. Because if she's doing this to them, who knows what she's going to do to other creators that make these type of videos on her. Tiffany initially countersued for $30 million, claiming extortion, but she quickly abandoned this countersue before there was a response. And then in October of 2024, a settlement was reached for $1.85 million. In 2022, YouTube eventually caught wind of this and demonetized her channel. And according to the Los Angeles Times, before the squad lawsuit, Rockelle was making between $4.2 million and $7.5 million a year. Following the allegations, YouTube demonetized her channel, which caused her business to lose $300,000 to $500,000 a month, according to court records. In 2022, Smith told the Times that she believed the claims arose from the plaintiff's financial jealousy of a 15-year-old girl. Ah, yes, the old "they're jealous" card. I've seen that one a few times. Eventually, monetization was reinstated. Nothing happened on TikTok, and she still continues to get big brand deals. But maybe that documentary that came out affected it a little bit. Who knows? You might, so let me know in the comments. And you've probably heard about the recent Bop House controversy that's happened. For those of you that don't know, Bop House is a Florida-based content house for adult female creators, basically OF. They have a very popular TikTok account with over 3 million followers. And Bop comes from the slang baddie on point. It's slang term for a person who has had many inappropriate partners or presents themselves online in a way that is thought of as immodest, such as posting pictures or videos with revealing clothing. And yeah, for some reason, Piper, who's 17, is visiting this house where she makes some content with them. And this is just one example of what they created. There was another video too, but they took it down because of the backlash that they received. But Piper kept this video up on her account. The caption on this video reads, "I remember, I'm 17, don't worry." People in the comments would say, if this isn't considered grooming, then I don't know what is. You're 17, she's a victim, honestly, sad life. What is wrong with y'all? IDGAF, a minor is a minor for a reason. To be honest, why are we grown adults endorsing a minor doing this? Like, I really love the Bop House, but this is plainly weird. Bad for your business. This is so unsafe. This generation is sad. Nah, this is weird. I don't care. And then you have creepy weirdo people saying stuff like this. She needs to be in the Bop House when she's 18. I don't care if she's a minor. I love this collab. I want to see Piper in the Bop House so bad. Piper, you better join when you're 18. And while some of the members of the Bop House didn't mind this, some did not agree at all, with one member being Joy, who left the Bop House in protest, saying, "I'm never going to do anything associated with a minor."
It is about Piper, because one thing about me is that I'm never gonna do anything associated with a minor. Like, it is ridiculous that the Bop House would even do that when there's so many other people you can collab with that is over age, because we all know what you guys do. So I just think it's fucking ridiculous, and I cannot tolerate that.
But later, she would completely switch it up and change the narrative, saying everything was innocent.
I overreacted. And I was very, very emotional, as you guys can see. I do have a lot of other issues with the Bop House, but the Piper situation was completely innocent, and I did take it out of context. I did speak with Piper and her mother, and they are very, very sweet people, and they are under controversy that they honestly don't deserve. I did post on my YouTube the real reason why I left the Bop House, so if you want to know the truth of that, please go find it there.
Piper would go on making a response to this as well, making a TikTok with the caption saying, "How many times are they going to cry about me being in the Bop House?" And allegedly, Piper wasn't even at the Bop House. She was at somebody else's house, to which Joy makes a response to that too, explaining it.
I just want to come on here and clear a few things up because I think some things got lost in translation. I was 18 in that Spider-Man video that they're referring to. I was 18 when I started TikTok on here. I was not underage. I was already 18. My birthday's in a few months for the math, because people don't understand how that math worked. My birthday's in a few months. So, started social media, 18 already. Also, I am not attacking Piper whatsoever. She can do whatever she wants to do. I'm not saying, oh, Piper can't do this or that. No. I'm saying that the Bop House knew better and should not have invited her to do TikToks. And the technicality of they were at Sophie's house and not the Bop House, which I've seen people call me out for. The Bop House isn't a location, guys. It's also, there is no Bop House right now because it just got broken into, so they didn't even have a house. The Bop House is not a location. It's the group of people that are in it, and it is the TikTok page. So she was posted on the TikTok page, so therefore Bop House. That's what I'm trying to get at, guys. I don't know what got confused, but I just wanted to clear that up for you guys.
Sophia Rain would go on to make a response saying that they just ran into Piper at the mall. She just happened to be in the neighborhood, even though Piper lives in California and the Bop House is in Florida, at least from what I understand. I could be wrong.
Is she officially in the Bop House? So no, Piper is not a part of the Bop House. All we did was make TikToks, nothing crazy. We ran into her at the mall, and then she came over to Sophie's and we just made some videos, and she was super, super sweet. But no, she has no affiliation with the Bop House, and I just hope this clears things up.
Hello, Randall. Hello. Yeah, it's no big deal at all that a minor is going to make content with adult content creators. And if there's no Bop House, I mean, people are going to see that them making content with people that are from the Bop House in a house is just going to be considered the Bop House. Just by association, you're in the Bop House because you're with the people that are part of the Bop House that make adult content. And for whatever reason, Camilla or Sophia decided to post this clip, which this clip is something that they shouldn't have posted. I guess they just did it because they don't care and they get the engagement and they're making money off of it. But this is something you have a conversation about off screen, you know, to clear things up and be like, hey, you know, like, you need to adjust your morals here a little bit.
So who are you thinking is going to be the next member?
I've been seeing a lot of comments talking about Piper.
Ah, Piper. She's so cute. Isn't she like 17?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, she's 17. She's a minor. And this is the world we live in. They think it's okay to casually introduce a 17-year-old into the Bop House.
I mean, I think she's so cute. Like, I've seen her TikTok. She's adorable. Like, no, you know, nothing wrong with her. But I think just, you can't come here if you're under the age of 18. Like, that's, you know, it's not going to work.
We love you.
Y'all should have said that about collaborating with her too. What, like, and I mean, she went to somebody's house that is associated with the Bop House, and according to Joy, there is no actual Bop House. It's just whatever house all the girls are at. I don't know.
Yeah, we do love you. I think you're the cutest little thing ever. Your little dances. I see you, girl.
Yes, we all see you and we love you and we appreciate it. And you're so funny. And I want to meet you.
Yeah, just, you know, now's not the right time, and, you know, maybe trying something more appropriate for your age. A Disney Channel audition. I don't know. Hype House. Maybe some Fortnite streaming. I don't know. But we love you and we see you. Okay. Much love.
And yet they still invited her over to make content. And I don't think it was Disney content. Sure, it was TikTok dance content, but you're associating yourself with people that do adult content. What do you think the Bop House fans are going to be thinking about Piper when they see those two collaborating together? They're going to want Piper to be in whatever because it's a bunch of weirdos that are following all of this. Ugh. And then you have one member of the Bop House trying to argue that it was just a collaboration. It was harmless. It's not a big deal.
You know what, guys? I would be just as mad as you if Piper was joining the Bop House, but that's not what's happening and that's not reality. If it were our intention for her to turn 18 and then join the Bop House, I would understand and I would be mad too, but it's not. That's literally not what's happening. Every single girl in the house is against her joining the Bop House. And if for some reason she just ended up joining the Bop House, which she isn't, I personally would be the first to leave. So let's please stop jumping to conclusions. It was literally just a TikTok collab, and I'm not talking about this anymore.
In my opinion, that line there was slightly crossed because no minor should be producing content with anybody on and posting it to the Bop House platform where you're posting content to bring in these weirdos, these middle-aged men that are watching this content for inappropriate reasons. Why would you collaborate with a 17-year-old then post that on your TikTok that is marketed towards those type of people? But maybe they thought it was okay because of how Piper has been branded her whole entire life by her mother. Despite the backlash, Piper gained 200,000 followers from that collaboration in just 3 days and then posted this video thanking her fans for 13 million followers.
Hey guys, I'm back home and I want to give you a huge thank you for 13 million. Every day I wake up and open my eyes. I'm grateful for you guys. I'm a very grateful person. Believe it or not, I'm grateful for the food I eat, the clothes I get to wear, the roof over my head, everything that I'm able to post videos, my family. Trust, I'm a grateful person. And I know that all of this can be taken away from me so quickly and not everybody's gonna wanna see me forever. I understand that. So I'm just living in the moment and I'm proud of you guys because this was all you. This wasn't me, this was you. And I'm proud of you. I also want to talk about the Joy situation. I never thought that she would actually leave the Bop House. Obviously, if I could see into the future and I knew this was going to happen, I would have stayed in my lane. But I've had a group before, and usually when people leave and come back, the bond is always stronger, so don't fear. I feel everything will be okay because I know those girls have each other's back. I feel distance always grows love fonder. With all that being said, I'm sorry, Joy, and I love you, Sophie. Thank you all so much.
Over on my Instagram, I post pictures of my cats, behind the scenes footage or pictures of what's going on and things to do with my YouTube channel, as well as the newest addition to the Kirschman family, Rue. Isn't she adorable? Look at that face. So if anything, go over to my Instagram and follow me over there to see more of cute Rue. You can find my Instagram at chaz.kirschman or in the description down below. And then there's concerns that the audience that was given to her by collaborating with the Bop House is being channeled into some inappropriate content, some of that content that we were talking about earlier, and that has a lot to do with the Brand Army subscription. This is a platform where she uploads photos, and I mean a lot of photos, 16,295 photos to be exact. She has almost 80,000 likes on this platform and 30,000 comments. In the About Me section, it said, "I'm so excited to share more of me with you. Heart emoji, kiss emoji, unlock emoji, parent managed." Well, that's definitely insinuating something. And then she would have different tiers: Piper Pro Plus for $5, Piper Premium Plus for $30, and Piper Platinum Plus for $100, where it says, "Congrats on joining Piper Platinum Plus. You will receive one free full set the first of every month, a free set of your choice to unlock on your birthday, free DMs, free access to live streams, priority customs, free BTS, and biggest discount access to unlock all photos. Evil emoji, monkey emoji hiding face." It's disturbing how in plain sight this is, and nothing is being done about it, or at least nothing was being done about it until all of this backlash happened. And it took all of this, all the people getting mad, people coming forward, reporting, saying things, for this website to finally take down what was going on here. And granted, maybe they weren't aware of it, which is most likely what was happening, but still, the fact that Piper's mom is allowed to get away with this is unjust. From what I understand, this website's basically OF, but for minors. And like I said, just recently, the account has been taken down, likely due to backlash, where Piper's account posted informing subscribers about the account being removed, saying, "From Brand Army support team, we regret to let you know that Piper's channel will be removed. We're very sorry about this, but we're sure she's on to bigger and better things. Your current subscription will continue until its expiration date, but it will not be renewed or rebuild for a new cycle. You will still have access to the feeds you are subscribed to and its content until its expiration date. Any purchased content will remain in your vault as long as your account is active on Brand Army. We do appreciate your understanding and grace during this transition. We wish Piper all the best." Well, they definitely maneuvered that into a way to where they were not acknowledging any of the weird stuff that was going on at all. But of course, they're not going to do that because they're probably allegedly doing this with many other people. In most recent news, as you know, there was a documentary released about Piper and Tiffany and all the horrible things that were going on. Well, just after it released, Piper posted this video.
To spread rumors, and I was hoping you could help me kind of figure out a way to go about this.
Right, so first off, you're right. So many people deal with rumors, and it's seriously the worst. I think step one is figuring out if clearing your name is worth it. Is this rumor actually affecting your life?
This rumor, unfortunately, has kind of hurt my lifestyle in a lot of ways, but I've just kept going as much as I possibly can. Is it worth trying to tell the truth to everyone that believes this rumor, or should I just brush it off?
Honestly, if the rumor's really messing with your life, it's worth clearing the air. But pick your battles. Maybe focus on the people whose opinions actually matter to you.
Do you think that karma is real and people who do bad things are going to have it come back to them?
Not gonna lie, I do kind of believe in karma. Like, not necessarily in a magical way, but more like, if you thrive on hurting people, it tends to catch up with you. People notice that energy eventually, you know? Do you think it works that way?
Yeah. Could you give some advice to someone watching this who's had a rumor spread about them?
Sure. To anyone dealing with rumors, remember a rumor doesn't define you. Focus on the truth and stay calm, even if it's hard.
Comments in this video would say your mom is a predator. That's no rumor, it's a fact. 32,000 likes. What about her mother selling her child's underwear? How is she getting away with this? 6,000 likes. 11 people getting SA'd by your mother is not a rumor, sweetie. You're a victim as well, Piper. 2,000 likes. And so here we have a video of Piper trying to find a way to deal with the situation that she's going through, which is probably really difficult. And, you know, she loves her mom and doesn't want to believe that these things happen. When she was asked about the documentary in an interview, she said, "Honestly, I just want to move on from all of this because it's just really painful to deal with every day. And not surprisingly, my mental health has suffered more than anyone knows. The rumors are mean, untrue, and honestly all about money. My mom did not do any of those things they said, and I'll stand by my mom to the end." It is true that these things are alleged and that it's possible that they did not happen, but, you know, form your own opinion. But what I know did happen for a fact is that Tiffany was selling and is selling, or might be still selling somewhere, Piper's photos through paid subscription, and some of these photos are very inappropriate inappropriate and should not be sold or posted online for anything. It's disturbing that anyone would do that, especially knowing the type of people that are going to be looking at these photos. I mean, let's be real, what normal person would pay a subscription to see a 17-year-old's photos? I mean, and let's not forget the type of thumbnails they made and the type of videos that they put out in order to attract these people. There was also another former squad member that came forward named Jensen. He released a TikTok defending Tiffany and questioned why victims would make a documentary to relieve their trauma. In this TikTok, he says, "I'm sorry, but a lot of this doesn't make sense to me. If we are all so traumatized, why are we making a documentary to relive it all? Personally, I just want to forget and move on with my life," which makes no sense to me. It's very important for people in these type of situations that feel like they've been traumatized because of a situation to get their voice out there. And if they're getting it out there to a lot of people, it can be very therapeutic for them, and also make it feel like they're getting justice. And in some cases, they do get justice. And it seems like since this documentary has been released, Piper's mother's strategy to get rid of this content of the Netflix documentary has just been to post a lot of content on the internet in hopes to just flood it out. And also, if you watch the documentary, I don't think these people are making this up, but that's just my opinion. But that's all I have for this video. So please leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about all of this. I know it's insane. And also let me know any video topics you want me to do. Feel free to DM me over on Instagram if you have a topic you want me to cover, and I'll see you in the next video. Also, go watch this video that YouTube suggested to you. You're gonna love it.